Like damn, she wanna afford a tattoo. I say I own it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Smackdown from July the 26th, 2024. A run-of-the-mill type show. It felt taped. It seemed taped. There are spoilers that are circulating online, so it probably was taped. This was just a show that they had to put on just to get us to SummerSlam. So it is what it is. It happens from time to time. I'm not really all that concerned about it. So we kick the show off with the Bloodline. They're backstage with Nick Aldis. Tamaloa, he has an eye patch on. Nick Aldis tells them that Tamaloa is not clear to compete, and they'll have to forfeit their spot in the gauntlet. Solo tells him the Bloodline's not forfeiting anything. Solo says the Bloodline will be represented by Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. If that's okay with Nick Aldis, Nick Aldis says it is. Solo tells Jacob Fatu to bring the titles back home. Fine. It makes sense. It's a no-brainer. However, the gauntlet match went on forever, and that should have been really the first match of the night, if we're being honest. But the first match of the night was LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. LA Knight defeated Santos Escobar via the BFT. Logan Paul came out and got involved. He ate a punch for his troubles. And then post-match, Logan Paul and Santos Escobar beat the shit out of Logan Paul. And Logan Paul hits a frog splash on LA Knight. Also, before the match took place, LA Knight cut a pretty cool little promo talking about how he's going to teach Logan Paul a lesson at SummerSlam and become the new United States champion. That's fine. It makes perfect sense. Logan Paul doesn't need to be champion anymore. I feel like when they put the belt on LA Knight, there's a lot of heels that he could face. So you could do him and Santos Escobar. You could do, Apollo Crews if you want to turn him heel. There's a lot of different guys you can work with. AJ Styles, you can go and do that feud again if you'd like. So there's guys that LA Knight can feud with once he becomes U.S. champion. Moving on. So we go backstage, and Naomi, she's being interviewed by Byron Saxton. She tells Byron Saxton that she doesn't know what Blair Davenport problem is with her. So Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they come into play. They hype her up, and they tell Naomi that they have to take care of business. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Who really cares? It's not all that important. I wish that Blair Davenport would be used more. Honestly, no, if we're being honest, Blair Davenport should be back in NXT. I feel like she would do well in NXT. I really do. I think that she should still be down in NXT because it makes no damn sense for her to be on the main roster and she's not doing anything. So that's just me. That's what I would do if I was booking her. Put her in NXT for a good 4 to 6 months and then bring her back when there were some real slots that were opened and we had some real plans for her. Because Blair has all the tools to be a champion. Moving on, Logan Paul is backstage and he's stopped by Byron Saxton. Logan Paul tells Byron Saxton that he spoke to Mr. Cleveland and thinks there's a surprise homecoming for him at SummerSlam. Logan Paul tells LA Knight that at SummerSlam he's going to wrestle the Pride of Cleveland. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Not really all that important. Moving on. So Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, they're out next. Bianca says she's going to cut to the chase. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn have been ghosting them. And they ask where are the women's tag championships at. Jade Cargill tells them to stop ducking them. And then out of nowhere, their music plays. And then they're attacked by Alba Fire and Isla Dawn from behind. And Bianca Belair throws Isla Dawn over the top rope onto the outside. And then Jade Cargill does a gorilla press using Alba Fire over the top rope. And she lands onto Isla Dawn. This is fine, I guess, but I don't understand why these women are still champions. It makes no sense. I just don't get it, but Triple H is supposed to be the Booker of the Year or this Master Booker. Newsflash, guys. He's not. He sucks. He sucks. I don't know what he's doing with Bianca. I mean, I get that they're going to have Jade turn on her. I wouldn't do that for a while. Maybe around either Survivor Series or maybe even like at the Royal Rumble next year. I could see something like that. So I would hold off that heel turn until either Survivor Series this year or the Royal Rumble next year. So we'll have to wait and see. Moving on, Tiffany Stratton, she's backstage with a taped-up briefcase. So Nia Jax comes in, who tells her that she's going to get her a new briefcase, which is awesome. So hopefully Tiffany gets the pink briefcase, and we can all be happy, because that's what Tiffany needs. She needs like a hot pink briefcase. That would be great. That would look nice on her, and have like a little dog with her as well. Maybe like a little Yorkie or Shih Tzu or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. I like that. So Tiffany says she wants to get revenge on Bayley tonight. Okay, that's fine. I'm down with that. Oh boy. On to the tag team gauntlet match. This shit went on for forever. This is something that should have happened at the start of the show. I don't know why they put this in the middle of the show. This was dumb. Basically, the Street Profits, they defeat every team except for the Bloodline. So, Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, they defeat Legado del Fantasma. The Street Profits, they defeat Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. They also defeat Pretty Deadly. They also defeat the OC. And then the final tag team was the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu and Tonga. So Jacob Fatu did 90% of the work. Well, actually, no, 98% of the work. He kicked ass and took names. He hits the moonsault, gets the 1, 2, 3. That's fine. And then post-match, Solo and Tamaloa, they get into the ring and they celebrate with the rest of the members of the Bloodline. So this is fine, but this shit took way too damn long. This should have been on at the start of the show. This should have happened right at 8 o'clock, if we're being honest. That would have been the best move. Ugh. I hate when they do long matches like this. It's pointless. It's dumb. And the tag division sucks, man. Hopefully, the Motor City Machine Guns, hopefully they'll show up. They should show up probably at either week 1 or week 2 of the Great American Bash. This upcoming Tuesday. You keep them in NXT for about maybe 6 months to a year, and then you bring them to the main roster, put them on SmackDown, and let those guys cook. I think that would be kind of fun. Moving on. So, A-Town Down Under, they come out. They talk about how they would have won last week if it hadn't been for Terrence Crawford. So, Austin Theory calls out Terrence Crawford and tells him that he'll come out and apologize to the greatest tag team in the world. So, Terrence Crawford, he comes out. Grayson Waller says he disrespected them last week, and it's only fair that he apologizes to them tonight. And then Crawford shakes his head. Grayson Waller tells him that he might be the best boxer in the world, but this is their ring. He tells Crawford that if he takes one more step towards him, his boy Austin Theory will knock him out. And then Austin Theory takes a step, and then Crawford knocks him the fuck out, basically. And then Grayson Waller leaves the ring, and the crowd erupts. This was great. I love this. This is pretty cool. It didn't last no more than about 3 minutes, so it's fine. Makes sense. It gets cheap heel heat, basically, which is not bad. And this also advances the story of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory splitting up from each other, which is fine. Makes sense. So this is just definitely just turning Austin Theory babyface. So that's fine, I guess. But Terrence Crawford is a bad motherfucker. He's dope. He's dope. Moving on. So Cody Rhodes, he has a video package that aired. He was talking from Japan. He was on the Japan tour. So he talks about how he won the Royal Rumble, and it was the fans who got him back in the main event spot at WrestleMania. He mentioned how he finished the story and the Bloodline were no more, or he thought. This doppelganger version of them is nothing, with nothing to lose, is on Smackdown. Because of that, his friends and his allies and his partners were destroyed trying to fight by his side. He goes into SummerSlam as the champion, and he has to bring all his fire and passion. He can't let it slip into the hands of the Bloodline. He says Solo is dangerous, and he has proven that he'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Cody says he looked into Solo's eyes to see what kind of man he really is. He challenges Solo to meet him in the ring next week, face-to-face, one-on-one, to see if Solo is ready, because he knows that he is. This is okay, I guess. I'm hoping that we do get a stipulation match added to SummerSlam for the main event. You just can't just do Cody and Solo, just a regular one-on-one match. You can't do that. We need to make this either like a steel cage, or an LDQ match, or a last man standing, something. We gotta do something, because we know that Cody's not gonna be able to beat Solo by himself. He's got no allies, and you want to do a big angle. You want Roman Reigns to return, which he more than likely will. But you also want to get War Games started, basically. You want to get Survivor Series started come early. So hopefully we see Roman return, as well as maybe Jimmy Uso. He returns as well. And the two of them help Cody fight off the new Bloodline. I think that's where they're going with all this. So that would make the perfect sense. That would make perfect sense, if we're being honest. That's what I would do if I was booking it. And I think Triple H is probably going to do the same thing. Moving on. So Andrade is backstage with Byron Saxton. He tells Byron Saxton he was thinking about the United States Championship. So Carmelo Hayes comes in. Carmelo Hayes says that Carmelo Hayes tells Andrade that it's not over until he wins. Carmelo Hayes tells Andrade that LeBron James even has an off night every now and again, and then it happens to the best of them. Andrade says he's not like LeBron. He's more like Junior. Andrade tells him if he wants one more match, he'll get it. This makes no sense. Again, I don't understand why we're going to do this 50-50 booking. You know Carmelo's going to get the win, and then you can do the rubber match either at SummerSlam or what have you. I don't know. But Andrade is directionless, standing with Carmelo Hayes. Both of those guys should be in the mid-card. Well, they are in the mid-card. But Andrade should be kind of in the main event scene to an extent. That's what I would do with him. Carmelo is fine, chasing the U.S. Championship. You could do him and LA Knight. So, yeah. Main event of the evening. Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax defeated Bayley and Michin. Bayley took the pin, which pissed me off big time. I'm pissed. This pissed me off. This makes zero sense. Why in the hell did Triple H book Nia Jax to defeat Bayley clean? This is dumb. Michin should have been in this spot. It should have been Michin who got defeated, not Bayley. This is dumb. You don't ever have your champions lose. This is dumbass booking. This sucks. This is retarded. Ugh. Triple H is such a damn clown. He really is. So, what closed the show was a video of Solo Sikoa. He tells Cody Rhodes that he'll see him in the ring next week and that the Bloodline will win the Tag Team Championships and he will win the title at SummerSlam. He says if Roman Reigns has a problem with that, he knows where to find him. And then that was the end of Smackdown. So, this is fine, I guess. But it's really not all that important. I don't know. SummerSlam is next week. I am kind of excited about a couple matches. One being Logan Paul and LA Knight. Everything else on the card, not so much. Well, actually, I'm also excited about Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. We'll see how that plays out, but that should be fun. But outside of those two matches, I'm not really excited for SummerSlam all that much. Well, I'm also excited for Cody Rhodes and Solo. Because that's going to be fun because we're going to get a massive angle out of that. So, we'll see what happens. But SmackDown was definitely in the middle. It was around the middle type show. They could have done a lot better. They could have done more, but such is life. It is what it is. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.